Hi, my name is Jerome and I've been asked to tell you a cloud native horror story. And well, you know it's hard because which one, right? I want it to be scary, but not too much. Well, there is the one about the Kubernetes custom controller that became self-aware and time traveled to the past so that it could write the entire source code of Borg and the Omega paper and eventually bring itself into existence without too many obvious serializable timeline paradoxes. But I only have a few minutes, so I'm going to tell you another story, one about Docker. I can't technically read the fear in your eyes right now, but I can sense it. So I'm going to do a little reenactment of that horror story on my machine right here. Yes, my machine is called Hex, but I swear it's not cursed, at least not yet. Let's imagine that this is a cloud instance at your favorite cloud provider. Okay, your least hated cloud provider. Okay, the one you have to work with because your boss asked you. Let's start with a perfectly innocent CentOS container. And then let's try to curl our favorite website, Kubernetes.io. And it's going to tell us to use TLS, encrypt like everyone's watching. That's a great idea. So network is working as it should. So everything is fine until basically it isn't. And so what happens is that at some point, suddenly you try to use the network and it kind of doesn't work. And it seems to be, you know, like timing out, like something's going to happen any moment now. There you go, could not resolve host Kubernetes.io. So it has to be DNS because it's always DNS, right? Except this time, this is the only one time in the whole history of computer science where it's not about DNS. So since it's not working, we do the first thing that comes to mind, which is basically, hey, let's restart Docker. So we restart Docker and we give it a moment to restart, right? Then we try to run that little CentOS container again, and we try to curl Kubernetes.io, and it works, right? So, okay, that was obviously Docker's fault. Except, no, it wasn't. No, this happens because some well-meaning folks decided that a well-behaved cloud instance shouldn't ever be used to relay network traffic because it sounds like a thing that a compromised machine would do. So they decided to disable IP traffic routing. As it happens, IP traffic routing is necessary for our brave little container to reach the outside world. So it breaks. And it breaks each time that forwarding gets disabled. But when does it get disabled and why? Well, because some scripts do it. Like for instance, you upgrade an unrelated package and some script runs, applies sysctls, disables IP routing, and your network is broken. And you know that song like the cat came back the very next day. Well, some folks knew that song and they knew that the sysctl might come back as well. So they made sure to reapply these sysctls like every day and disable routing every day. You might think, well, that's easy. If I see that all my machines lose networking at 6 a.m. every morning, I'm going to suspect cron.daily, right? Except on cloud instances, cron.daily happens at random different time for each machine, just to avoid basically all your machines singing together every morning, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, etc. So basically your machines apply these scripts every day at random. Plus, if your machines have a really short lifespan, you might not see the problem on all of them because they might not even have the time to run that script. Now, why does restarting Docker fix it? Well, because the fine folks who wrote Docker wanted to make sure that we would not run into that kind of problem. So when Docker starts, it enables IP forwarding, which fixes the problem. There you go, the endless battle between the scripts that break your network and the container engine that tirelessly unbreaks it. And I will never get back the hours, the days, maybe the weeks spent troubleshooting that thing. So if this happens to you and you want to figure out if it's a sysctl problem, you can check proc sysnet IPv4 IP forward. If it's 1, you're good, forwarding is enabled. If it's 0, it means that routing is disabled and packets won't go through. Thank you.